So today I picked up the Sony ECM-LV1 lavalier microphone, finding there's more times where I might need something like this. So I'm going to do a quick unboxing of that and then test it with both the ZV-1, which I'm filming on right now with the regular onboard microphone. I'll also be testing with the DJI Pocket 2, which I also have the official DJI mic adapter here, which you pretty much have to have. Other things sometimes work, but usually don't. Then the third one I'm going to test with is the Osmo Action. This is the first version, obviously. The new one's more modular. But this is the first version with the Sonova USB-C mic adapter. Kind of hard to focus on that because it's so small. But what's kind of nice is that pretty much just pops in on here, and it's really like adds no real size to the Osmo Action. And it fits in the cage too as well. The actual unboxing of the lavalier microphone by Sony. It is actually just a stereo microphone. It has a 1 meter cord, which is equivalent to about 3 feet. So what you basically get is, let's see, reference guide. So there's a reference guide, microphone instruction manual, and then the actual microphone and the windscreen actually in there as well. The back's not really closed or anything, but the box was, so I'm not too worried about it. So here's the actual windscreen. Now that'll go over the mic there. So there's the Sony microphone. You can see it's really not that big, and it actually has the left and right channels. So what's nice is you can actually turn this depending on how you're going to mount it. You can actually turn it whichever way you want, so you can actually get the actual left and right on the right side. So it turns 360 degrees. So the cord isn't super long. A lot of people say it's too short. I didn't want a really long cable, so like I said, it's 3 feet, so it's not crazy long, but for what I'm going to use it for, it's actually perfectly fine. So you can see there, it's about between 1.25 inches and 1.5 inches, the actual mic size, so it's actually really small. And like I showed before, you can actually turn it. So depending on how you're going to do it, so if you're going to mount it this way, you can do it. So it rotates any way that you pretty much need to mount it. So here's the windscreen and the microphone. I don't think it really matters which way it goes. It looks like the cut's kind of the same, so it just kind of goes up and over. I'm hoping that it stays on secure. It looks like it shouldn't be an issue. Over time, though, I think if you take it on and off, it could become one, but I have to wait and see. Of course, like if you ever lost it, there's no real way to, I don't know why product showcase isn't working. So if you ever did lose it, I don't know how, or if you could get a new one very easy from Sony. So that's what it looks like with the windscreen. I'll use it just because I don't want my P's and other things like really pronounced in the microphone. I found it just works better just to leave it on all the time. Just because, like I said, it just helps with pronunciation and that, so you don't get any hard consonants actually like popping into the mic. Test it with both the ZV-1, which I'm filming on right now with the regular onboard microphone. I'll also be testing with the DJI Pocket 2, which I also have the official DJI mic adapter here, which you pretty much have to have. Other things sometimes work, but usually don't. Then the third one I'm going to test with is the Osmo Action. This is the first version, obviously. The new one's more modular. But this is the first version with the Sonova USB-C mic adapter. Kind of hard to focus on that because it's so small. But what's kind of nice is that pretty much just pops in on here, and it's really like adds no real size to the Osmo Action. And it fits in the cage too as well. So for the test that I'm going to do the ZV-1 with the regular onboard mic. Then I'm going to do the Sony, the new ECM-LV1, which I just talked about or unboxed. So I'll see what that's like indoors. So for the second test, I'm going to use the Osmo Pocket 2, just a standard microphone so you can hear what that sounds like, official microphone adapter, and the ECM-LV1. So for the third test, I'm going to use the Osmo Action just with the onboard microphones, just so for comparison. That's what I did with all three. And then I'll do another test with the Sonova adapter, which I got through DJI, I believe, but it's kind of their official adapter with the ECM-LV1 microphone. After that, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to go do tests outdoors with the same 2 tests for the 3 cameras. My main purpose for this test is to get my audio a little bit better, and the biggest issue that I found is wind noise in my audio. So, because I can change levels after the fact, so what I want to do is try to see if this lavalier mic from Sony will give me the option to, obviously I can connect it to all 3 devices, the ZV-1, the Pocket 2, and the Osmo Action 1 with the with the secondary adapters. But what I want to see is if it's going to cut out enough noise so that it's worthwhile to actually use that microphone. Sony ZV-1 onboard microphone. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. ECM-LV1 stereo lavalier microphone. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. DJI Osmo Pocket 2 onboard microphone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. DJI Osmo Pocket 2 with the Sony ECM-LV1 hooked up to the DJI adapter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. DJI Osmo Action 1 first generation onboard microphones indoor test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. DJI Osmo Action first generation with the Sony ECM-LV1 lavalier stereo microphone. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the first test. This is the Sony ZV-1 with the wind cover that came with it, because it does come with it, so I included that on there. And just the standard onboard microphones. So just to kind of see how this does, then I'll hook up the Sony ECM-LV1 and see how that sounds, because that has a wind cover as well, but it's more, the mic will actually be right here. So we'll see how the audio is. ZV-1 audio is pretty good. The windscreen covers it pretty good, but I think this other microphone, the lavalier microphone by Sony, might help out a little bit. So here's the mic right here. It's kind of black on black, so it's hard to see. So this is testing the ZV-1 with the Sony ECM-LV1 lavalier stereo microphone. So I just want to see how this is compared to the onboard ZV-1 mic. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. There is some wind, maybe 10 miles an hour, but for the most part, it's definitely something that it would pick up if I have no wind cover on there. I do have the windscreen on this microphone. Kind of see it right there. So it is on there to keep things consistent, because I have no problem using that with it. So again, this is just a test. Sony ECM-LV1 with the ZV-1. Considering it's all product, it should be good for everything. I did have to set the mic input to 11 on the ZV-1 to keep the mic from being too hot. The standard on the ZV-1 is 26, and it would have been all blowing out. It was red audio peaking the entire time, even just talking regular. So I want to see how this works with the pop sounds too. Pop, 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 pop. So we'll see how that works. So that's that test. Next up, I'm going to do the same walking test with the DJI Pocket onboard mic, and then the DJI Pocket with the DJI adapter, and the ECM-LV1. So this is the DJI Pocket 2 standard onboard microphones. So it has microphones for both front and back, and sides actually. It has 4 around it. But obviously the wind gets caught up in those sometimes. So that's why I'm going to do the lavalier test next. So I do believe the mic switch as you go from forward to back. So I'm just kind of testing that out depending on where the wind is. The Pocket is nice. I mean, there is no weight to it. So it is kind of a nice option. Again, my biggest problem was just the wind noise. It was just too hard to fix it in post, or have like, there's no cold shoe, so there's no way to actually attach like a wireless mic to it or anything. So this is the DJI Pocket 2 with the Sony ECM-LV1 microphone attached with the DJI adapter. So we'll see how it does with both the wind noise as well as the sound quality, see if it's much better. One thing I didn't point out with the DJI Pocket 2 is with so many mics, I find a lot of times I have my finger over one of the mics, and then I get home and then the audio is kind of muffled. So this scenario also will help take care of that as well. Because it's a lavalier mic, now granted I guess I could get noise from my clothes, but it should, I don't think it's that sensitive, but I'll have to wait and see. But so yeah, this is DJI Pocket 2 with the Sony ECM-LV1 mic, testing out the sound as well as the wind noise. It's pretty windy. I shouldn't say pretty windy. It's somewhat windy today. You can kind of see how much it's blowing right now. So there's wind. I mean, the regular DJI mics I think would have a little bit of an issue with this. Test with the DJI Osmo Pocket 2 with the Sony ECM-LV1 mic. So this is the DJI original Action, Osmo Action. So we're getting an idea of how the wind is affecting the sound on this camera. So this is without the external mic. So this is the standard onboard microphones of the DJI Osmo Action 1. Just to get the comparison before I hook up the Sony microphone and see how the lavalier mic is with that. I do like that front-facing screen on this camera, I will say that. It's pretty neat. I mean, it's only like 1.5 inches, but it's pretty neat. So hopefully this is a good test for the onboard mics of the DJI Osmo Action. Test 2. This is a test with the DJI Osmo Action Series 1 with the Sony ECM-LV1 microphone. It's pretty windy right now, so the previous test was without, and this one's with the lavalier microphone, so you kind of get a good idea how much it cuts out the wind. I don't know, I've never heard the microphone before, so I was giving it a try. It was like $30, so it was well worth it. So I'm just trying to make it so I could use the Osmo Pocket or the Osmo Action when I want to do a light vlogging setup, and I don't want the worry about the noise, because there's no way to get rid of the wind noise with either of these because there's multiple mics and there's no good way to get a windscreen on. So that's it. Hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and click subscribe if you want to see more content like this. So that's it. Thanks for watching.